They're athletic. They're big. They're strong. Can move well. Really remove guys in our run game. Can move out when we roll out. It's just a total package. And then my skill, I think I have the best skill, best line in Southwest Virginia, no doubt.
So let's go and talk about how do we continue that success for the next few weeks till we get to playoff time.
I think there's so many leaders on this team that they're not going to let us get complacent with winning, because you never take winning for granted.
Yeah.
In the past couple of years, we're a different football team, but I think this team's really different.
It's a hungry team.
Yeah, very hungry.
So we couldn't have you up here without you giving some love to your wide receivers, Bobby Medley, Lane Carroll, and Austin Davidson, just to name a few of those guys. How nice is it to have so many talented targets, just to be able to chuck it around to?
It's awesome. Bobby, Michael, Austin, I played with those guys forever. So it's like when I drop back and I know when I have my routes, I know where those guys are going to be. It's such a relief. And then up front, I know I'm going to have the protection. It's awesome. And then when you don't have those guys in, the number twos are just as good.
Very deep in that wide receiver core too. We were talking about just those guys, but the depth there has a lot to do with it, and play in and play out. Of course, Bobby Medley does a lot on the defensive side too, but we do a lot of things with him as a wide receiver, especially in the John Battle game, which we'll talk about that here later on. So, Jamie, you've accounted for nearly 600 total yards in 4 games, but as a QB, your elusiveness is something that stands out. What's going on through your head, through your progression, before the play breaks down where you have to take off?
Well, sometimes my offense coordinator, he gets onto me because I'll come off of a read too fast, and I use my legs too much sometimes. And he'll get onto me, but as long as I'm making a play, he doesn't say anything.
As long as you end up on the positive end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So when does that light click, though? Does it just whenever you feel the pressure?
Wild Central game, for example, we had a pass play on, and I saw they were in man, and everybody dropped off. So I saw a lane open up in the middle. I stepped up, and I was gone.
Are we talking about the 75-yarder?
Yeah.
The play of the week. So congratulations on all that, too, by the way.
Thank you.
WJHL play of the week from last week, the big 75-yard touchdown run that gave Virginia High a 7-0 lead over the Warriors.
I didn't really look back from that either. It was very, very elusive run. You just found a hole every time.
Yeah.
Basically worked his way all the way like a circle and then like a U shape all the way across the field.
So going into this game, I know it seems to be redundant for us to keep mentioning Chilhowie's zone coverage. But how was that troublesome for you, and what will you have to do to combat that zone coverage this week?
I just think, prepare how we prepare every week. Regardless of if they come out in man, zone, it doesn't affect us. Just compete and do your job. That's our core values. Do your job.
Is there any sort of mindset, though, different from when you see man coverage? The fact that, okay, maybe I might be able to beat him deep, whereas against a zone team you might have to work shorter passes and they want to prolong the drive?
And, we have routes. Some routes we can run against both man and zone, but, if it's man, we'll want them to keep running. Zone, they want to sit there because if you keep running, you're going to run into another zone. So it's all stuff.
Find some holes.
Yeah.
So especially at Chilhowie where you have that 2-man front sometimes and a 3-man front, you don't know who's going to be covering or who's coming. Yeah. So it's going to be a busy night for you on Friday night for sure to figure out who you think's going to blitz. That's really the main thing, get your line in tune with you. So you have a lot of freedom in this offense. You were just talking about Coach Ambergy and how sometimes he gets mad at you for taking off. But you also have a lot of freedom there to pass or take off, especially since you're a first-year starter. And you've been impressive so far. But how long did it take for you to understand what the coaches wanted from you or expected from you?
Well, I've been in this offense for 3 years now, so like I have a pretty good grasp, and I watch a lot of film. Like I watch a ton of film, and it really on run plays. I mean, we'll have passes tagged, RPOs, so it's basically what I see because he explains it to me like I'm the one out there. He's not out there, so he puts it on my shoulders.
So how much freedom do you have as far as play call? Do you get some hot reads, some hot checks?
Yeah.
Okay, and of course you got the read option to sort of offense. But
Yeah.
so a lot going on for you on a Friday night, a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it's a lot of thinking, but I manage it well.
So how did you earn that trust? Was it just something in practice that eventually just came along, or from the beginning you felt like you had?
I think I matured a lot, like especially over this summer. Like I think if I'm the starter last year, I don't have as much free reign in the offense because I don't think I was as smart. So I think it was just my maturity level getting higher. So I got a little bit more freedom.
So, I mean, it's pretty obvious that anywhere that you play football, fans always see the quarterback as the guy, the leader of your team, not just the offense. Do you feel that you see yourself as the captain or the leader of this team, as a junior for that matter as well?
I mean, yeah, I love leading my offense. I love being a leader on the team, but the seniors, Aaron Rose, he's just a junior. He does a great job with our defense. I mean, I think this team is so spread out with leaders. Like, everywhere you turn, somebody's a leader. In our program, we don't care if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. If you have something good to give us, we're going to let you talk.
Well, how do you allow people to step into those leadership roles or respectable roles in the locker room?
Just doing the right thing, even when nobody's watching. Do the right thing and speak good to your teammates. Pick them up when they're down. That's just leadership values.
That's a real thing about leadership, especially in football. Action speaks louder than words.
Yeah.
Chasing down plays, really pursuing the football, and we see that become an issue in the NFL sometimes. Of course, the Ezekiel Elliott stuff going on where he sort of quit on a play a couple of weeks ago, wouldn't run. So you get that, but if you're showing up each play, you're going to earn some respect to your teammates. So that's a good point to add right there. So let's go ahead and talk just a little bit about the preseason. You got to do some 7-on-7 work. Did you feel like that helped a whole lot going to that Virginia Tech camp earlier in the year?
Yeah, I mean, we went to Virginia Tech and Emory and Henry with the team camp, but the Virginia Tech one especially, that's when I really knew this team was different. Everywhere we went this summer, we competed with everyone. Like Dinwiddie at team camp, those guys are competing for state championships in 4A, and the first day wasn't so. When we scrimmaged them, wasn't so good, but the second day, we came out and punched them in the mouth.
So this is an important question for Mark and I. Bobby Medley came into the show a couple of weeks ago, and he was wearing a Notre Dame pullover.
Oh, no.
So can you help us feel a little better? Who is your favorite college football team? And please don't say what I think.
I've seen your Twitter, and I know you're a Tennessee fan.
Die hard.
I got 2 words for you. Roll Tide.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
That
Ow.
was, how could you beat Notre Dame for, like...
How can you pick Alabama when you're in the Southwest Virginia?
Of course, my team's playing Alabama this weekend, Ole Miss. So.
Yep. Hotty totty, man.
Hotty toddy.
What?
this weekend.
I'm not going to say anything else.
At least he says the good. He knew it at least. So.
Yeah.
At least you did your. I appreciate the homework. Yeah.
Well, Mark's Twitter name is UT Coach Mark Hart, and I think it's because he thinks he's a better coach than Butch Jones. But
there is also an orange emoji to make it really obvious of which UT. There's only one UT.
He could possibly be a better coach than Butch Jones. We don't know yet, but that's cold, isn't it? So we'll see how Butch does. But yeah, I'm kind of glad he's not a Tennessee fan. But why Bama though? You know.
I think family comes in a little bit to give me that. Like a lot of my family. Like I've been a Bama fan since birth.
Okay.
Like,
you went through the lean time.
I get a lot of bandwagon stuff, but you ask me anything about Bama, I'm going to give you the answer to it. So.
I have another question, but I'm just stunned right now.
Are you mad at him?
I'm just stunned. So we talked with Bobby Medley a couple of weeks ago about the familiarity with you and each other in the passing game. Since you guys have played football since you were in grade school together, how long have you played? When did you know you could, or when you wanted to play quarterback, and what led you to that decision?
Well, let's see. Me and Bobby, we played baseball, I know, since T-ball. And then I started playing football with him when I was 7 years old. So we've always came up together. But the quarterback question, I was a running back and receiver in like Pee Wee until my last year. I played with Austin Davidson too, and he was our quarterback and I was his running back. And Bobby was a receiver, Colton was a receiver, so we've all played together forever.
And how does that help in the locker room? You guys just felt like best friends growing up your whole life?
Not even best friends, they're more like brothers. Like, I know they're always going to be there. Those are my guys, man. Like, I just know they always got my back.
So, Jamie, going into this game, final question here. We're going to get you with this one. How excited are you for homecoming, another game at home and against the Warriors at Chilhowie?
I mean, I hate bringing up last year because we're a totally different team, but I mean, I just think do what we do, and I think we'll come out on top, man. Like, I think we're prepared. We haven't talked much about Chilhowie. We don't really care what they're doing. We're just going to come out and do what we do. Come out and punch them in the mouth, hopefully.
Come out and try to get one done for all the fans that are going to come and pack Gene Malcolm Friday night for homecoming. Hopefully a good crowd will show up. And again, we'll be on the call for that one, Mark and I, and we'll go live at 6:30 p.m. So make sure you tune in for the pregame show. We'll get you set all the way to kickoff and then all the way through the game and wrap it up with the post-game show. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
We were excited to talk to the quarterback, so we had fun today, and good luck on the homecoming game. And thanks to everybody who was able to make it out this afternoon at Buffalo Wild Wings, everybody that was able to listen online, and Buffalo Wild Wings, of course, for being such a great host. And remember to tune in Friday night, 6:30, as the Bearcats take on the Chilhowie Warriors for homecoming 2017. Good night from Buffalo Wild Wings.